I show that how this question will be solved and provide some explanation that will. So at first, in case of GRE, you should not read the passage at the first. You should read the question and then you should scribing at the passage to find the solution. So at first, see the question and point. First, it can be inferred from the passage that the manufacturing and agriculture sector in the United States following the second world war differ in which of the following respect. I am marking. And next is the point is says first the rate of expansion in each sector, the percentage of employees in each sector who are men. Third, the trend in the wages of men employed in each sector. Fourth, the attitude of the popular media towards the employment of women in each sector. Fifth, the extent to which women in each sector were satisfied with their jobs. If we are going to the passage, they say while most scholarship on women empowerment in United States recognize that Second World War dramatically changed the role of women in the workforce. That's a few women remaining in the manufacturing job once men returned from the war. But in agriculture, women were viewed as temporary women, and women empowerment did not end with the war. Instead, the expansion of agriculture steadily decreased in the number of male farmers and women number is increased. So farm labor encompasses in the woman. And so if we go to the point, they say first the rate of expansion in each sector, and in the question you say that it can be inferred from the passage that the manufacturing and agriculture sector in the United States differed in which of the following respect. It's a case of differed, and in case of differed, and differed, its meaning is unlike or dissimilar. Yes, it's a dissimilar. Yes, and which is the dissimilar in the following respect. First, the rate of expansion in each sector. I think rate of expansion is said passage, but it's a similar. So I am discarding. Secondly, the percentage of employees in each sector who are men. It will be the solution because it's not similar with the passage. Because in this passage they say that women were percentage increase in the farm work as farm workers, and remaining the manufacturing job in the men same after returning the war. So the percentage in each sector who are men, it may be dissimilar. Third, the trend in the ways of employing sector is not related to the passage. So I totally discard it. Fourth, the attitude of the popular media towards the employment of the women in each sector. If we go to the passage, even though rhetoric in popular media count for the women in the domestic. So it's a similar, not dissimilar. So totally not. It's not a right answer. So I discard it. Fifth, the extent to which women in each sector was satisfied with their job. Yes, they may be satisfied or not, and they may be similar or not related. So I discard. So only right answer is the percentage of employees in each sector who are men. It's a totally different or dissimilar. So it's the right answer. Second, which of the following about women employment in the United States during the World War after the Second World War is most clearly supported by the passage. Employment in the United States during and after the Second War is most clearly supported the passage. So if we go to the point, it say most women who joined the workforce during the Second World War wanted to return the domestic life. Yes, they may be returned to the domestic life or not, but they are not going to the domestic. They are going to the workplace. Rather, maybe go to the farm as they going to the manufacturing industry or going to the farm as work to the farm worker. So I discard it. Secondly, the great majority of women who joined the workforce during the Second World War employed in manufacturing. During the Second World War, no. They are joined to the agricultural-based job. So I discarded it. Third, the end of the Second World War was followed by a large-scale transformation from manufacturing to agriculture. It's maybe related. I mark it as yellow color. Fourth is the increase of women employment that accompanied the Second World War was longer lasting in the agriculture than in manufacturing. Maybe it's a right or not, because in agriculture based field they are more longer lasting. So it's maybe right answer or not. We are going to the fifth option. The popular media was forceful in calling for women to join the workforce. No. Second World War. During the Second World War, then in calling for women to return domestic after the war. No, it's not related. I totally discard it. So, two questions remaining. First option is the end of the Second War followed by large-scale transformation manufacturing to agriculture, but not manufacturing. They are joined to agriculture, not any force. And in case of manufacturing, men were returned after the war was ended. So I discard it. And so the correct answer is the increasing human employment that encompassed the Second World War. Longer lasting. Yes, they are longer lasting agriculture, and it was in. So it's the correct answer and right answer. So it's the right answer. And next, we are going to next passage. If we read the question, this says the author of the passage is primary concern. Which matter they will be described in this option. So it's the key point. First option, discussing different approach. Biologists have taken to testing theories about distribution of plant in Hawaii. About the distribution of plants, so I mark it. Next is discussing different theories about the transport of plant seed to the Hawaii. Next, third, discussing the extent to which air current are responsible for the dispersal of plant seed to the air current is responsible. I marked it the main point. Fourth, dispute about the adaptability of plant seed bird transport. So it may be I am not. Fifth, dispute about the ability of bird to carry plant seed to longer distance. I marked it key point. So we go to the passage. If they say Hawaii must be a result of long distance dispersal of seed. So I mark it. Required that a method of transport and equivalent between the ecology of the source area and the recipient area. Some dispute the method of transport. Some biology of the ocean and air current are responsible for the transfer of seed to the Hawaii. Yet the result of flotation experiment, low temperature of air current, was dropped on the hypothesis. Next, more probable is bird transport, either externally by accidental attachment of the seed to feather, by the swallowing of the execution of seed, while it is likely that fewer varieties have reached to Hawaii externally than internally. Fewer varieties have reached Hawaii externally than internally. So, in case of passage, they say different approaches biologists have taken to the testing theories about the distribution of plant in Hawaii. And it's in case of it's maybe discuss different approach. So I think it will be right or not answer. Discussing different approach, biological testing theory about the distribution of it's a not distribution of plant. It's discuss about the plant seed. So I totally discard and not agree with the passage. Second is discussing different about the transport of plant seed to Hawaii. Yes, transport of plant seed. There is many transport of plant seed. They say ocean and air current for the transport of plant seed, flotation, experiment, rotation, all are the process of the transport of plant seed. So it may be correct answer or not. So in case of third, say discussing the extent to which air current are responsible for the dispersal of plant seed to the Hawaii. Yes, in case of they say air current also said at the passage. Yes, in passage they are say about the air current. So it will be the perfect answer, not perfect answer, but maybe possible to right answer. And D, resolving a dispute about the adaptive transit to But transfer. It will be maybe also possible to right answer because But transport also described in the passage. Fifth, resolving a dispute about the ability of Buts to carry transit wrongly. No, it's not said. So I totally discard in the passage. So only 3 optional remain. First, discussing the different theory of the transfer transit to the Hawaii. And C and D. Air current are responsible for the dispersal. It's said of the passage, but it was only fragmented. So I totally discard this. Next, adaptive transit to the But transport. It also fragmented. So it's not correct. So only it's a totally primary concern with the passage. The discussing different theories about the transport of the plant seed to the Hawaii. So it's the right answer. Yes, it's the right answer and mark it. So B is the correct answer. In case of 9, the author mentioned the result of flotation experiment on the plant seed. Flotation experiment of the plant seed. So the answer will be catchy at the 7 to 8 line. Before this, we should read the option. First option, the support the claim distribution of the plant in Hawaii as the result of long distance dispersal of seeds. Mark it. Second is credibility to the theory that air current provide a method of transport for plant seed to Hawaii. Air current. Third is long distance dispersal of seed in the purpose long distance of time. I mark it. Fourth is ocean current are responsible for transfer plants in Hawaii. Mark it. Fifth, Hawaiian flora evolved independently from flora in other part of the island. So in case of the passage 7 to 8 line, we say ocean and air current are responsible for transfer in the Hawaii. Yet the result of flotation experiment and the low temperature of air current gets depth on the cycle. So we go to the question. Flotation experiment. First is support the claim the distribution of plant in Hawaii is the result of the long distance of dispersal of the seed. Plant in the Hawaii is the result of the long distance. No, I have not find any solution related to this. So I totally discard it. Next is rent credibility of that air current provide a method. It may be possible answer or not. Third, suggest that the long distance dispersal is that is the long period. No, it's not related. So I discard it. Fourth, the challenge that ocean current are responsible for the transport of the Hawaii. So in case of direct ocean and air current. So ocean is related to the combine of air and ocean current. So it may be possible to correct it. So I go to the next option. Hawaiian flora evolved from the flora in other. No, it's not related. So only 3 options is remaining and support the district plant in Hawaii is the long distance. No, not related. And air current provide it's related but it's a fractional. So only D is the correct answer. So I mark it and it will be the correct answer. Case of 9, D is the correct answer. Next, it's a discrete question. So first is it comes as no surprise that societies have code of behavior. Societies have code of behavior. The character, the code, on the other hand, can be often. So I am societies have code of behavior. Society have norm or code of behavior. It's a possible. But character of codes, on the other hand, have no code of behavior. So it will be the similar to the code of no behavior or unexpected behavior. So it's related to answer at the unexpected. So we are going to the found is the best. Predictable, unexpected. Yes, there is unexpected. So correct answer is unexpected. Next, Ruth Crawford. I make it easy, like Ashik. Not only bought a compulsory notation of forward, she also marked the text. And I think it will make the easy text or make in case of emphasis on the text. And so answer will be the emphasis the text. And next, details of the performance in writing text. So I mark it writing text, and this makes her work. And he may be critical or more emphasized or more critical, or more concentration. So answer will be related to the concentration, and second option, first option emphasis. So in case of first option, which of the meaning of the revalence for? Revalence for is its meaning is a gesture of respect. The detachment for, we know detachment for is similar to not attachment or maybe discontinued. So it may not curtains. Third is QC, no, not related to QC. So a gesture of respect or reverence is related to emphasize. So this is the curtains. And option 2, there is 3 options, and this you know what the meaning of fastidious. Fastidious is meaning is going or acting with careful attention, or acting with careful attention. And didacticism. Didacticism related to morally instructive, and iconoclasm, his name is belief. More concentrated related to the we are didactic is belief. Iconoclasm is didactic, not related to it, so I discard it. And didacticism, morally instructive, I discard it. And first on fastidious, showing acting or careful attention, which is more related to more concentration, so I mark it a curtains. Third, political advertising may well be the most dash of the advertising. We are totally discussing. More is the most also discussing. So advertising may well be the most deceptive. Kind of advertising political candidates are usually white, yet the campaign false related to false. So which is the related to deceptive false is the curtain. So if we are it's polemical. It's a polemical related to they have the belief or what against the society, like Karl Marx, and he may be Karl Marx and polemical. So it's not right answer. Also deceptive is the curtain. Next, false, most related to dissimilar. So dissimilar is the curtain. Next, 52% of the nation courts see the second World War had dashed the invention. And it may be come. He said that the research, innovative research or related to come. Next is innovation is committed to modern patent to unless we can protect. Like without protect, there will be plagiarism, and scientists are not interested to do original. So at the first, correct answer is come is the right answer. Second answer is aside from. It also a correct answer because it's about he said dash the research. Come to the research or aside to related. The correct answer. Third is protect because without protecting, we will be not gaining the original interest of the scientist. So it will be the correct. So if we go to the fifth option, we say about statement presented as fact in a patent application are dash unless. Patent application are dash unless a good reason, and it may be patent application are dash unless a good reason for doubt is found. Patent application may be not too much concern because they are maybe obliged by the scholar, so they may be less mistaken, so not totally critically examined. So it's related to critically examined, not good reason for doubt is found. The invention has only to deem more likely than not to work in order to initiate a proof. And 2, thousands of patents are challenged in court for other reason. No incentive exists for anyone to expend effort. The dash science of an EONAS patent. So others EONAS patent found or there is no fund is given, there will be more criticized or more related to negative or criticized. For this reason, the interest esteem of dash device, I think like not perfect but false device equation of that. So at the first option say presumed variable not related to not critically, only careful is not related, it's a similar. So considered capricious, capricious is meaning is inconstant or we say it's related to non-theory. So this is the perfect. Next is there is a alpha expand it and is criticize and collaborate on the debunking. Debunking is related is and what the meaning of debunking. Debunking is meaning is like expose or others. So this Jonas Pende's system false Nobel observed are not very bogus. In case of 6, they say demanding reader objection of others. Nobel test. Likewise, in the object of dash analysis by his dash analysis সমসাময়িক, he may be what may be extra, he may be gain attention or education or perfect. So obviously this shall be setting, not so meticulous, careful. So it was exactly the character. A and negative are there should not be confused. That's why I have known he has always been to assist scoring. He is also he is the best helping hand to the poor, but due to his economical not all like sudden death of his relative, he may not like normal maybe so yeah, so it's maybe like a Michel. So Michel. Stinges, not so I not intolerance, not rivalry, not so only frugality is related to Michel. Frugality is the character. Next, last the misconception by novice writer is that sentence structure the more convoluted the structure or convoluted is like complete or complex. So young writer think that if we are make more complex sentence, the idea will be good. But it's wrong. It's related answer complete. It's right answer. Thing is not a right answer. Sensible also involved and complete. So you get 10% solution. Thank you, brother. You get